This, Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back into the show. PK, fresh as today's headlines. We were just talking about it, and the Big Ten took us our word and immediately sprang into action. Glad we have that kind of power.
Sprang or sprung?
That's a good question. I don't know. You're the grammarian and the spell checker, so I'll trust you. I'll be over here butchering among and between. Pete Thamel, college football national writer, probably a senior writer. Sources, the Big Ten is set to pass a rule today that does not allow players to return from the NFL and play for a Big Ten school. Anyone who's declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with the Pro League cannot be on a Big Ten roster. Now, not everyone thinks this is going to make a big difference. Got people saying, well, this would be as effective as an SEC transfer rule. It's just a moral victory. Don't be surprised when the SEC wrecks the Big Ten this year, presumably because they'll have these former NFL guys will be difference makers.
I don't think so.
I'm with you on that.
A football team is just that. I don't know that one individual, in this case, somebody who wasn't most likely at that time good enough to stick on an NBA or an NFL roster. Because if he could, he would.
Right.
If you can go to the NFL, go.
So you can come back and be a good corner or a good safety or whatever, but it's hard to believe that that one player is going to make that big a difference. Great to have more good players, but...
Yeah, I can tell you that a first-team All-Big 12er defense that was a safety at ASU last year, and he just committed to Houston.
Tim says easy to make that rule when no one wants to play for a Big Ten team. But, yeah, good job.
What do you mean no one wants to play for a Big Ten team?
Well, the story is about a kid going to LSU.
Okay, but there's...
A player going to LSU.
If the Big Ten offered him more money and he saw a chance to get out on the field, he would say no because it's the Big Ten? Why would someone reject the Big Ten simply because it's the Big Ten?
Doesn't seem like they would. Little Chief says, this is a great move. The only question is, will it stand up legally? An excellent question. The NCAA rules don't stand up. They have a monopoly. The Big Ten doesn't have a monopoly. Will that be enough to change things? Or will someone say the Big Ten doesn't have a right to make this decision? Every school should make it for itself.
Okay, but you're going to have someone sue them.
Yep.
Why sue them when you can just go someplace else? Why waste your time? So I don't even see that being practical.
It may not happen.
I don't think it will happen.
Depends on how badly a Big Ten team wants a player and how badly a player wants to go there. And to your point, the pressure's on the SEC schools right now to find a way to get better because they've largely been getting to the playoffs. I mean, they have 2 more playoff wins than the Big 12 over the last 3 years. Against other, they win when they play each other, the Alabama-Oklahoma game. They win when they get to play G5s, but they got 2 wins against other power leagues, and they're feeling the pressure on that front.
Who's feeling the pressure?
The SEC schools are.
I don't know if there's any more pressure that they already have. I mean, you think kids are going to, I'm going to go to the Big Ten because they're going to have the last team standing? That seems too centrally focused to actually be true.
It's one of many factors. Yeah, playing time's a factor, money's a factor. But I do think for the coaches facing the boosters and or the president, certainly at LSU and Georgia, I think there's pressure to win it all. There has been in Alabama, how much that's being tempered by their lack of elite money. I mean, they've got money, but
there's always been pressure on Georgia. That was the big thing.
Right.
Can those guys get over the hump? And then they did. So I don't think
and that buys Kirby Smart some time.
No more. He buys him time.
Buys him time.
He's got a lifetime contract. Buys him time.
You know what those are worth.
Yeah, well, a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. They are worth that.
Exactly what they're worth. He was never in danger of being fired. If Kirby Smart needs to buy time, then I would advise every coach in the history of coaching to rent, don't buy.
I think coaches are starting to talk about that, but okay.
They are now?
Yes.
So something's changed?
I think the Penn State was the upping of the stakes. Yeah, you've been in the semifinal, and then you have a 3-game losing streak, and you're out mid-season. But I get your point.
That's the extreme case.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, he gets another job. Paying him millions again.
Yep. I'll take my Penn State money, take my Va-Tech money, and I have quite the pile of money.
When you got that kind of money, you're not worried about, hey, I put my house on for $350 and they want to offer $330. I just don't see where that's big of a concern there in that situation. So, I think everybody should do it. I mean, these constant handing out more and more eligibility. It's so unseeming that it just you think you're helping the kid, but are you really helping him?
I suppose that has to be answered on a case-by-case basis, but it's not the way college sports has looked for a century. And for those of us who've been following it, it's disconcerting or just downright, it's just a turnoff. Just people, fans throwing up their hands. Now, maybe they just throw up their hands in August and September. They'll put their hands down and grab a remote and watch a game.
The turnoff is guys like Kiffin trying to justify it. That's the turnoff. I hate to be lied to.
When the truth is lying right in the middle of the room, obvious for everyone to see.
The truth is plain to see.
Don't start spinning it.
Yeah, just say, he can help us, and he's better than Joe Blow over here, so I'm going to cut Joe Blow. And it sucks for Joe Blow, but Joe Blow needs to go someplace else, and then they'll cut somebody else so Joe Blow can play. And it's the way of the world. So we're actually teaching them lessons. You're not good enough, get better. And don't try, well, everybody's doing it, and, the kids, they didn't know, and this and that, and they're only doing it. They knew full well what they were doing, that this means my college career is over. Oh, some judge in Oshkosh? Okay.
Anything to put the helmet and the pads back on.
But he says that Kiffin, well, they didn't know at the time. Yeah, they did. The rule got changed after. They thought they were done. That's why they pursued the NFL or whatever league. And I mean, BYU's doing it with this Kohler kid. He was in summer leagues. And now he can have another year of eligibility? It's silly. I mean, I'm not blaming the kid for doing it. If something is available to you, go ahead and do it. Sure. It's not the kid. It's the so-called adults. And then you have Kiffin out there trying to explain. And then Texas Tech, well, we're just so concerned about the young man.
Yeah. So how about when Chesney says he's part of our family? They're apparently bringing somebody who's in an NFL minicamp, a linebacker, Trent Hedrick.
Yeah.
Now, this rule that might go by the wayside here.
Well, the season starts next week.
Plug a linebacker in.
Waiver wires?
Well,
what they need to do is find out who got cut and go to that person. How did that feel when you were in the program and you're doing the lifting at 6 a.m. and the running and all that and blah, 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 and then it comes down to it and you get cut?
You're out.
Yeah.
It feels
We've
terrible.
seen this a million times in high school. These kids transfer all over the place, and they come from an hour away. Well, what about Johnny, who lives down the street, and that's his high school team, and he got cut? Never hear about that stuff.
Poor Johnny.
Yeah. What is that? In the sake of winning?
Which is happening at LSU, happening at UCLA, happening. Somebody's playing time is going away. Even if you have an open roster spot, somebody's playing time is going away. And if you don't have an open roster spot, then somebody's vaporizing completely.
Right. And at this point, can't you just go with the guys that you have and see what happens? Is the world going to end if you only win 9 games instead of 10?
Bear Wire at Golden Bear Wire. Clearly a UC Berkeley fan. It's absolute BS that Trent Hendrick is allowed to be eligible for UCLA. Chesney knows his roster is bare, and he's shopping for NFL players now.
Of course he is.
Yep.
He's paid to win games.
So the answer to that is no, he can't just go with the roster. He's got a linebacker, and the kid played at James Madison, so he knows the system, so they figured
he's better than what they have.
Yep.
If he wasn't better,
they wouldn't be going through all this trouble.
Yes. Right. And you hear the coaches, is it better that we discard him, put him on the street? Well, what you should say is he has too much talent for us to put him out on the street. That's what you're telling us, because if he didn't have enough talent, you'd cut him in a heartbeat if he got arrested and whatnot, whatever he did. Yeah, you see it all the time, and the pros do it too. They take guys, if you're good enough, you'll get plenty of chances because everybody wants to win. Just come out and say it. That's what I want. Don't give me some BS line that, oh, you're trying to be benevolent or you're worried about Brendan Sorsby's soul. No. You thought he could help you score a point in the playoffs because you didn't do it last year. And if Morton had had another year of eligibility, they would have said, sorry, son, you sucked. You're out. So you're not really worried about the kid. You're worried about the kid as long as he's good enough. And then you're worried about him.
Worried about W's.
Yeah, that's what everybody
Open
wants.
field tackles, big touchdowns.
Yeah, I've got at Little League, there's a guy that sat in here and he got offensive linemen who moved in. He's ecstatic. They're 11 years old. They're going to win games.
Sweet. Sweet.
And I want to make sure that I put out there I was just as guilty as everybody else was.
Thrilled about winning when
Yes.
when you had the 11-year-old.
Yeah. So I am no different.
You tell the story about the parent, I forget what sport it was, but he was bringing the snacks. I don't even remember what the snacks were. And geeked up and laughing with the kids. And you at the time you said, I didn't get what is that guy doing? And then you said in retrospect, he was the one who got it.
Hmm?
He was the one. Those are the moments, and
Yeah.
you only get so many, and then the kids grow up and they leave the house, and you're, as one of my friends said, the only thing worse than them leaving the house is them coming back. But you don't get to freeze them at, 6, 12 years old, whatever.
His name was Jim Gassick.
Oh, you remember the story now. You got it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. He was a hero. And then he was a pilot. And then he got cancer and died at 61. Yeah, it's tragic.
I didn't know that part of the story. Or if I did, I hadn't put it together.
In his obituary, I loved my life. I just wanted more of it.
Yeah. And scene. There it is.
Yeah. And because his son was on the youngest ones in his family. So he'd already gone through it.
So you got you and all these other parents going through it for the first time.
And it's life and death.
He's on.
And I was just as guilty as anybody else.
Kid 2, 3, 4, 5,
I
whatever.
realize it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Family Feud guy. Just had the discussion with him the other day. The second and third time around, it was way easier. Because he knew. It doesn't mean anything.
Let's go have some fun.
Yeah, right. But everyone is caught up on winning. And we're all thinking what we're all doing at the time we think is best. And for some, it is best. As I understand it, Jackson Dart wasn't getting recruited by many people. He goes to COVID, and depending on who was leading your state, if you're on this side and you hated that guy, you didn't play. If you're on this side and you're okay with the guy, you did play. And he transferred and he played and he was a national player, blah, blah, blah. And look at him now.
Gave him a path forward.
Yeah. Who's to say it wouldn't have happened anyway? Who knows?
Might have worked out.
Yeah.
And he had more bumps along the way.
And he came from up north to come down there, and away you go. Great. So we all do what we think is best at the time, and some work and some doesn't.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes
you're not going to find a guy who made more mistakes than me. Yeah. So we're all out there, and then it's carried from the little all the way up to the top, and it's inbred in all of us. And now we're We're letting guys who played professionally or tried to play come back. Well, yeah, it sounds good, but at the expense of somebody else. Because I would think that with a week to go, your roster's set.
Until the NFL makes a cut.
Yeah. What's it going to be? Cut down day is Sunday.
Are we going to have another come in here Monday morning? What is trending and have another story?
Like Monday, yeah. I think
Florida is swooping in.
1 p.m. Monday, our time, or Sunday, they have to get down to the limit and the practice squad and all that stuff. It was about 65 guys or something, somewhere in there. And most rosters have 15, 20, 30 more guys right now because they all have one more preseason game to go. And then away you go. And in a sense, that is like Trevor Riley told me a story that I think he was with the Dolphins, and they said, hey, if you don't get called, because they don't tell you made the team, you just find out you didn't make the team, right? If you don't get called on Sunday, you're good to go. Well, you're on pins and needles on Sunday. Well, you show up Monday, and you're good to go, except somebody else got cut, a linebacker someplace else, and on Tuesday, you get cut. Because they brought somebody in who got cut, and they signed him, and they cut you.
It never changes.
But it's the pro, so we're okay with that.
We know it's part of the deal.
College seems seedy, but will it be, and you're right, 100%, it is part of the deal, but in 10 years, will this be part of the deal? That guys get cut from the pro, okay, come back, and then we'll cut somebody, and we will not think that's seedy. It's that's the standard behavior.
That's where it's gone with the transfer portal, bringing transfers in. You know, there's a whole thought that you go somewhere as a freshman or sophomore and you work hard and then you get your chance. And, I mean, there's a whole line of kids now who are being told, well, we get so-and-so out of the portal and they played. They're like, you didn't play your whole recruiting class. So are you a terrible recruiter?
No, you got kids that are better. Because they're better simply, if no other reason, because they're older.
Yeah, they're older. But then as you get older, then the sophomore class, they don't get to play as sophomore because they brought in. And then it's like, well, you're a junior, but you've never played. So I can bring these kids. Well, you didn't play us. You didn't play a whole recruiting class. And you're like, yeah.
And he would have been fired if he didn't win. That's like I told you. The Devils, I think, are going to name a starting quarterback today. It's going to be a transfer. Well, then what's the point of complaining about Sam Leavitt leaving? But yet I've seen tons of people from ASU say, I hope he sucks this year. Well, you got no problem with the guy that they're going to name the starter coming in. You want him to succeed, and he just left someplace else where the kid the leader is going to be the kid from Kentucky. Well, he played at Kentucky. He didn't sit the bench. He played. And you're fine with him. Well, wait a second here.
Well, you weren't rejected by him. That's what it comes down to, the rejection. I was rejected by this guy. I wasn't rejected by this guy.
I don't want to hear anybody complaining about Sam Leavitt leaving. Because you're bringing in somebody who left someplace else.
Good luck with that.
Well, it's stupid. The whole system is stupid. So we all need to shut up. And I'm going to be quiet right now.
Which makes for bad radio. DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.